I don't know if it was just me, but every time any scene took place in a nursing home, I was getting mad Ben Stiller, Happy Gilmore vibes, like straight up. Welcome back to the party, everybody. My name's Jared, and I'm a film critic straight out of Gen Z. While my knowledge may be limited, my willingness to learn more is sky high, so if you want to join along with me on my journey of ups and downs through the film industry, consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification to get notified every time my brain grows just a little bit larger. Today we're talking about I Care a Lot, directed and written by Jay Blakeson, starring Rosamund Pike, Eiza Gonzalez, Peter Dinklage, and Dianne Wiest. A shady legal guardian lands in hot water when she tries to bilk a woman who has ties to a powerful gangster. Now, this film originally premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival last year, and I saw, as soon as I found out that Rosamund Pike was going to be in this, I knew I had to check it out, because ever since I saw her in Gone Girl, other movies like Hostels, it's just, she's an actress that I've kept on my radar. So every time she comes out with something, I have to check it out just because of her. Let me just say, she did not disappoint, but all the way around, this movie didn't let me down whatsoever. I had a blast with I Care a Lot. I didn't know what I was getting into going into this film, but immediately I was swept up in the entire environment of it all, and I quickly learned that this is going to be a satirical film about corporate greed and just bitterness, capitalism all the way around. It deals with ideals that hit so close to home for me, especially because the way that the story builds it's towards Rosamund Pike's character going to pretty much extract this elderly woman from her home, and her job is to be legal guardians for these people who they feel can no longer take care of themselves. So she grabs them and she puts them in nursing homes or care facilities. Then she can get pretty much income off them every single month consistently. That's how she makes a living. And so the whole MO of this is her trying to present herself as someone who cares and wants the best for all of these people, but really at the bottom of it, it's just the price tag that's attached. And the fact that they are stuffing all these elderly people in these nursing homes, these care facilities, really struck a chord with me, because I actually work at an assisted living environment. And by the end, it really just had me in chills, thinking how many people are actually put in these outside of their own will. Now, I know there's a lot of people that just can't take care of themselves, and so some people have to step in and make those decisions for them that they are just not mentally able to make for themselves. But still, the fact that people are out there that will force people into these homes, into these environments, just because of the price tag that's attached, is super eerie to me. It's disgusting and gross, and the way that was portrayed in this, it's very, like I said, satirical, because it's played off in a way that's supposed to be fun and lighthearted and vibrant. But when you really just dig down deep into the actual story going on and the source material, it's incredibly dark and gross. The film constantly contradicts itself, and that's really what its point was. That's what its driving narrative was when making the film, is that we'll make everything look pretty, we'll make everyone seem very nice and cookie cutter, all the bright colors, great performances, great just environment surrounding it by an amazing score, because it has all of this, but we're really telling a story about some very crappy people. And that's what this was. It was really uncovering the truths behind an industry that it's pretty messed up when you really dive into that. And I think Rosamund Pike is someone who was great to play the lead character for this, as you can see her just in the past role she's taken as well, especially when you look at Gone Girl, as somebody who can be extremely manipulative, and she's able to really switch what shoes she is wearing in certain moments. In certain environments, she can have such a bright smile on her face and be super optimistic and outgoing and make everyone feel comfortable around her. But when the pages turn, she can also be incredibly nasty, ugly, very hard to work with, and that was just how they portrayed all of these characters within this film. Rosamund Pike did amazing. In my opinion, this might be just the best performance of her entire career. Like, over Gone Girl, she had to carry a ton with her performance with the character she was portraying here, and I think she pulled it off incredibly well. She could be very charming and yet very deceiving at times, and there was moments to where I was watching her character and I started rooting for her, but then I had to remember, no, she's supposed to be the protagonist of this narrative, but she is very much not a good person, just like pretty much everyone else in this movie. This is a film to where it kind of makes you try to choose sides. It splits up the good and the bad, but really the colors get mixed together. The lines are blurred between good and bad, because truthfully, when you dig down deep into it, every single person in this, every single person who is trying to accomplish their goal, move forward with the process, all has their own agenda, their own narrative that's driven by greed, by money, by their own self-interest, that when their MO is I care a lot, what they're saying is I actually care about myself, and you're in the way of me getting what I want. So in order to satisfy myself, in order to meet my needs, I have to substitute your well-being as well. That was the whole message. It's not people who are out for the well-being of these elderly people. It's not people who seek to help others. It's people who seek to put others in the position to help them. It was very disgusting, but the way that it was portrayed was incredibly well done, very, very well executed. It really showed the sad truth that there's greed, immorality, and crookedness behind even the greatest deeds. Now, of course, we also have to talk about Peter Dinklage because, of course, anything he's in, he kind of makes the film significantly better. Like, he just brings that energy and atmosphere to every role he's in that really just impacts that scene and makes it just so much more enjoyable. You're more invested because he's got such a presence about him, and his character was great. He plays this lead gangster that is out for the well-being of his mother, funny enough. And so when someone is kind of jeopardizing his mother, putting her in a position that she doesn't want to be in, but also kind of interfering with his overarching goal and his mission, there's gonna be trouble there. And so when the encounters that he has between him and Rosamund Pike, when they're trying to sort out their issues, when they're fighting, when they're bickering, when things go down, very, very well executed. The dynamic between the two was incredibly believable, funny at times. Like I said, it's a satire, so it's meant to bring comedic aspects to it as well, and it does a great job. The film can also be sad at times, actually. It does a great job at sort of balancing both of the tones, but it shows that in the midst of all of these wrongdoings and all of this advantage that's being taken of these elderly people and just everyone in the industry, there's going to be some negative impact. There's going to be some backlash, and with that comes some pretty dark moments, some moments that will make you tear up just because of the sad truth, the sad reality behind it, whether it's the elderly people being forced into these facilities, or when you look at a character like Rosamund Pike, who really thinks she's in this for benefit of herself, that is really just making herself prosper. But slowly as the film goes on, you see it kind of wear her down as well and sort of eat at her soul, because yeah, she's doing things that feel good and benefit her monetarily, but how is that actually impacting her soul and the way that she can actually function everyday life, because she's got to keep holding up these things and doing more and more to please her want and her greed that she constantly has. And with that comes some consequences, as well as when she gets in trouble, that leads to some pretty bad things, not only that hurts her, but the ones she loves around her too. This film is also a technical achievement, especially when you look at things like the cinematography from Doug Emmett. It looks absolutely breathtaking. It's almost like it puts a candy coating over all of the dirt, because on the exterior, this looks like a very bright, vibrant, positive film, but it's sort of to counteract with the underlying elements of the dark nature of it all. The satirical elements really kind of work with the cinematography and the way that it looks, because I'm serious, you're constantly focusing on just how vibrant and colorful and popping some certain shots are, and a lot of that is supposed to distract you from certain things going on around, or it's supposed to make the main character played by Rosamund Pike, look like everything's going great around her, but then as soon as things turned more negative and in a bad direction, it's almost like the colors dim a little bit and the whole contrast changes. The way that it was executed through the cinematography, through the color grading, the direction, was perfect. The score by Mark Canham also enhanced this so much. I remember his work from the infamous Second Son video game, I believe that was. I knew his name sounded very familiar when I was looking it up. That's one of the few video games I actually played, and that's one of the reasons I played it, was because I just love the music that went along with the gameplay. But it works so well for this story. It's incredibly 80s techno synth, but it's also got this grunge nature to it in some sorts. Then again, in the early beginning stages of the film, it makes it seem very vibrant and positive in nature, but as soon as things kind of take a turn, it starts to get more dark and grunge and gritty, and I felt like it really balanced itself very well. It very much carried this, as there are moments to where the music is swelling and the dialogue is lowered, or there's just absence of dialogue, and the music really kind of picks it up and carries the moment. when it's very fast paced, that's what sort of brings it back down to reality, keeps you consumed in the story, and I thought it worked very, very well. Possibly my favorite score of the year so far. I will say, while I didn't have many issues with the film, there were certain moments towards the end of it that started to lose me just a little bit, not because anything was bad, but there were moments where they were focusing more on a part of the story that I wasn't as invested in. And in those times, I really thought that they'd focus maybe more on the career that Rosamund Pike is down, and her involvement with the nursing home and the care facility and getting people in, because a lot of the focus that interested me early on was her pretty much dirty work in the industry, looking through all the pages of elderly people, finding who would be the easiest sell to take out of their homes and place them in the care facility so she could get more money. I thought that was incredibly well. But then it kind of turns into this thriller to where she's being hunted by the gangsters. And in that moment, while it worked for the most part, there was those couple bits and pieces to where I really thought, man, this could have been a little bit better. This could have been something else. Like, they were going in a direction that it could have paid off more in that area, but they kind of went in a little rabbit trail for a little bit. Luckily, they were able to bring it back, and by the end, I was completely on board again. So with all that being said, I'm gonna have to give I Care a Lot a 9 out of 10. Make sure to go check this one out when it releases on Netflix Friday, February 19th. I think if you're in the UK, it'll actually release on Amazon Prime, so you can go check it out there. But this is definitely one that is high up on my list right now. I really enjoyed this one. I was incredibly surprised by how much I was invested with it, and really enjoyed just everything. The performances, the music, the cinematography, the script in general, all of it really, really stuck with me in a very positive way, and I definitely hope that you guys enjoy it as well. But make sure to comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about the film. Also, if you would, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a new video. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the continuous support, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.